What's up, everyone? Hope you're enjoying your weekend. Some more comments coming from James Gunn today, this time regarding how long Superman Legacy has actually been worked on, and kind of causing, a stir amongst fans a little bit. So it started out with someone asking James Gunn if Creature Commandos was in production. He said yes. And then James Gunn added to it on his own Instagram account, I believe it was, and added to it saying, not that fast-tracked, really, since this and Superman Legacy were both in development before we took over as DCU Studios chiefs. I mean, of course, this caused a lot of questioning regarding, what happened with Henry Cavill and that whole situation. So they said, "Hi, James, could you please clarify this? Is this referring to Man of Steel 2 with Cavill that you now changed to Superman Legacy? Or was Superman Legacy a different project altogether?" He said Superman Legacy was always a separate project. Continuing, another question. "Gotcha. I think there was some confusion being you said Superman Legacy was there before you and Peter came in." And then he says, James Gunn, "It was. I was hired to write Superman Legacy over 6 months ago." So James Gunn had said a while back, around the time that Superman, they made the announcement that they would be doing a Superman movie without Henry Cavill. Around that time, James Gunn said that he was writing the script and that he'd been writing it for a while. He didn't really give a time frame at that time. He just said a while. And so people are like, wait, I thought you, like when he first came to Warner Brothers and they told him you can do whatever character you want, and they gave him the option to do Superman and all of that, he said he turned it down. He didn't want to do Superman because he liked the more obscure, like out there, kind of quirky characters. And that has come up a lot recently because the comment that he made about that, because now he is doing the Superman movie. And like I've said before, I won't be surprised if he ends up directing it. Over 6 months ago, that was before they did the Henry Cavill cameo in Black Adam. That was before they had him announce his return and then quickly just retract that whole thing. So yes, we can say we knew that he was already working on Superman Legacy for a while, because he said that, like I said, when he posted on Twitter that they were going a different route with Superman. Henry Cavill posted his departure announcement on Instagram. He did say that. So it kind of already showed people that they knew, the studio knew what direction they might go with regarding Superman. So it was like, if you guys already knew this, why would you let Henry Cavill do the Black Adam cameo? And even worse, why would you tell him to make a public announcement and then be able to talk about it on a press tour for like weeks? It doesn't make any sense. Like, yes, okay, James Gunn and Peter Safran, yeah, they weren't in an official capacity, they weren't officially in those roles yet, but between them and the studio, they knew what they were already working on. They knew this script was being developed. They knew that they were going to be in these roles before it was publicly announced. So, like, why would you do all that then with Henry Cavill? Like, all it does is really it continues to make this new leadership look worse, because the more this kind of stuff is shared, the more it just makes the studio look like they just used Henry Cavill to try to promote Black Adam. And then when it didn't make the money they wanted, they blamed it on that. First of all, it wasn't even his movie. It's a Black Adam movie. So it's not fair to like say it didn't make the money we wanted, so Henry Cavill, we're not moving forward with you. You're going to blame the whole, success or lack thereof on the movie because of a 10-second cameo at the end of the movie? That's not fair. Yes, Henry Cavill fans have been waiting for years for him to come back as Superman. His video on Instagram announcing his return got like more attention than the Black Adam movie alone. Like, that's probably a little bit dramatic and exaggerating, but you know what I mean? Like, it got a lot of attention. Big, like, major media outlets, Entertainment Weekly, like, all these media outlets were reporting about it. Like I said, they allowed him to talk about it on this press tour. And that's why when the rumors about, oh, wait, not so fast, he doesn't even have a contract, so slow down. When that stuff started coming out, people were like, yeah, right, this is nonsense. Like, why would the studio allow him to make a return announcement and then go on a press tour talking about it if they weren't actually going to move forward with it? We didn't believe that. And then even James Gunn coming out here trying to shoot down these rumors and try to, create doubt that these articles were not trustworthy, saying some of it's true, some of it's not, some of it we haven't decided yet, and blah, blah, blah. Just trying to, use this specific, saying a lot and saying nothing at the same time type of dialogue, just to kind of create doubt amongst the fans that, oh, this is, just trying to make us not believe these things that are being said in, Hollywood Reporter articles and other, rumor articles rumors that were coming out. And then come to find out, a minute later, James Gunn comes on Twitter and says that it's not going to be Henry Cavill in this Superman movie. You guys knew that a long time ago. So why are you trying to now all of a sudden, so then why are you trying to create doubt and make it seem like we shouldn't trust these things that are coming out in articles? If, in fact, pretty much most of the stuff that was said in that big Hollywood Reporter article that was just full of information, it was okay, we know we're not doing, Patty Jenkins is not doing Wonder Woman 3. We don't know about Gal Gadot, but I'd be pretty surprised if she ever comes back. They try to make it seem like the door's still open for her, but I don't know. Said that they weren't going to do a Black Adam movie, a second one. It said that Henry Cavill might not be moving forward as Superman because it wasn't set in stone yet. This is the reason why why a lot of people have a hard time believing what he says, because it's he says what's convenient at the time, or, he says one thing and then it gets undermined by another statement, or something comes out in an article and he tries to make it seem like it's not trustworthy, but then all of a sudden they announce something that pretty much proves what the rumor was, or at least, contradicts the statement that they made about the rumor. It's fans are not going to believe anything you have to say. Okay, and if it was always a separate project, Superman Legacy, then why couldn't Henry Cavill still have a movie? I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. Especially because they knew that they had already told him to make an announcement and talk about it. And they, if you knew that already happened, and then you still knew that this other Superman movie was being worked on, it's only going to make you look worse if you're oh, never mind, we're not going to do that. We're going to do this instead, that we've already know, but we've already, now they're proving they already knew about all of this. Of course they knew. These kind of things don't just happen overnight. There's so much that goes on before a movie's even started filming. So if they already have a release date for Superman Legacy for 2025, which sounds like far away, but it's not when you're talking about making a movie. Movies take years, from start to finish. If they already have a release date for it, then yeah, stuff has to be going on for that movie. They have to be working on it for a pretty long time before they even get to filming. Or that they confirm that. It makes them look worse with the whole Henry Cavill situation. We can't only be upset with James Gunn. It's this whole new leadership. They knew all this that was going on. They gave them the okay to do the announcement and then quickly went back on it. The thing is that, I'm glad that, I don't want to say I'm glad it happened publicly because that's humiliating for Henry Cavill. But if it would have happened behind closed doors, and it would have only been between Henry Cavill, the studio, and his manager, or former manager, if it would have only stayed between them as far as making an announcement, if they would have done the cameo and then told him, don't make an official announcement yet, just keep it between us, we'll make an announcement at a later time. If that would have happened, but then, James Gunn still put out the same tweet about it, this is not going to, we're going to do a Superman movie, it's not going to be Henry Cavill, blah, blah, blah. Then all these rumors would have started coming out about, oh, guess what? There was this agreement between Henry Cavill, Danny Garcia, and the studio that he was going to get another Superman movie, but then they decided to go with Superman Legacy instead and not use Henry Cavill. or something along those lines. Those kind of rumors would have been coming out, but there would have been no way to actually prove it because it would have happened behind closed doors. And then James Gunn or whoever from the studio could have come out and been, trying to shoot it down or trying to make it seem like it's not what it is. It's not necessarily true and all of that nonsense. So the only good thing about it being so public was that it just completely exposed the way they handled the situation. It sucks that it happened at Henry Cavill's expense, but at the same time, there would have been, the truth about what happened would have just become a rumor. And I don't doubt that James Gunn would have tried to sugarcoat it or water it down or, tried to spin it in some way just to make it seem like that's not what actually happened, or someone from the studio, but probably him because he's the one that's been commenting the most on these things online. No one's ever going to believe things that James Gunn says because it's so all over the place. There's no consistency. The only consistent thing is that it's all over the place. I know people have said Superman's not the only thing that Henry Cavill could do. He has had a great career since Superman, and he's going to continue to do so. He has a lot of good projects coming up, and I'm all here for all of them. It's just, you don't do that. I did the one thing that this previous sucky leadership didn't do. Ride the wave and just be like, yes, he's getting one more movie, but, we are going to reboot. We're going to have a new universe with a different Fine! People would have been a lot more receptive to it. Because, hey, someone finally listened to the fans and gave Henry Cavill another movie that he deserved. But they did the total opposite of that. I don't think this kind of dialogue is these kind of interactions are not gonna change anytime soon or stop, especially because they're just getting started with their new universe, and so it's gonna continue. But I'll do my best to stay updated with things. And thank you guys for watching. Shout out to any new subscribers. Thank you for the support on the channel, and we'll see you next time.